We are going to be doing some yin yoga today, and yin typically focuses on the hip to the knee area and really getting into the connective tissue. And we are going to focus on the hip area today, and we're going to begin in deer pose. So to begin with deer pose, you're going to have the sole of your right foot is going to be towards the top of your left thigh. So think of that, figuring your body out that way. And then slowly go ahead and begin to walk your hands over to the right. And I'm going to move my bolster out of the way here. And then keep walking over to the right and then slowly lower down. So you can come onto your forearms, or you can get a little bit deeper and lower all the way down, dropping the left side of your face down onto the mat. So come to whatever part of this pose where you feel your edge, where you feel a nice stretch through your left side body. So just find yourself staying in the pose. We're holding each pose for just about 3 minutes for each side. And just feel each breath you take, just feel a little bit more of that sensation of letting go. So try to really release, relax, and let go. You don't need to look up at your screen. Just listen to my voice as I guide you in and out of the poses. Slowly just begin to press yourself up. So always coming in and out of your poses pretty gently, right? Because you get really deep into them. And then bring yourself staring forward, and then slowly we're going to switch your legs out. So now you're bringing your left foot towards the top of the right thigh. So taking the opposite positioning with the feet and the legs, and then walking over to the left. So slowly walking the opposite direction over towards your left. And again, each side is really different. So as you might start coming down onto your forearms and slowly come back to the depth of the pose. Each side's really different, so take your time. Try to make no assumptions about where you should go, and slowly release into the pose. Be able to breathe into that wringing out sensation. So that side body stretch and that gentle twist. Just a few more breaths here. And then slowly Pressing down into the forearms and rising all the way back up. Yeah, take a moment to just extend both of your legs. Just stretch out both of the legs. Bringing your hands down and just sway a little side to side. So just feel a release. Usually when we get out of these poses, that's when we can realize how much we were into these poses. And then slowly we're going to come back to center. We're coming to cow face pose, so Gomukhasana. So you're crossing your right knee on top of your left. So the right knee, if you come down to a tabletop position, dropping the right knee on top of the left, moving the heels out of the way, and then lowering your seat back down. So not too much of an overemphasis like we do in yin, right, of getting the heels way far away, but you just want this alignment as you begin, and then slowly just go ahead and walk the hands forward and down. So you can always, again, you can have blocks under the forearms. You can take any props to support you in this pose, and then just slowly begin to melt your way down. So you can drop the chin down, the head down. So you always want in these yin poses to release as much as you can, to let go as much as you can. So that usually has to do with the head dropping down, the arms coming more forward and down, but without any force. You're not pulling or pushing or pressing, you're just letting. So find that space of letting, and you'd be surprised how deep your body can go. Hopefully you're feeling that already. And typically we feel this on the top leg, the outer hip of the top leg. So your right outer hip should be feeling this, and then just let go. Let your body, the weight of your body in the pose, do the work. Just find a few more breaths here, about 5 or 6 more breaths. And then slowly press into the palms, come to straighten the arms, walk your hands back up. Okay, so come to sit up tall, bring your hands back behind your hips as you untangle your legs, shake out the legs. And then slowly come to the other side. So now the left knee stacks on top of the right, tip forward to that tabletop shape so you can really snuggle the top knee on top of the bottom. And if you have some more flexibility here, I tend to have some space, you might not need to go to tabletop. You might just kind of wind yourself up in this shape. Inhale to open your heart, and slowly as you exhale, just wind and walk the hands forward and down. So the hips especially, you might notice not only a big difference on each side, but one should usually feel more intense than the other. But we really do, if you've been to yoga classes, you've probably heard that we store a lot in our hips. So not just what you did yesterday, not just your to-do list, but a lot of things in your past, worries for your future. So really trying to do what you can to release the mind into the pose and to help open up that part of the body. So you should be feeling the stretch, the deepest part on the outer left hip. And then slowly press yourself up. So slowly, gently walk your hands up. Just go ahead and untangle the legs. So hands behind the hips, you can release the legs out. Shake that out. Okay, so for our final pose, we're gonna come to pigeon pose. So this is my absolute favorite yoga pose. and everyone feels a little bit differently about this. So you had started here with deer, right? And so we're just going to be starting with the right shin, bring the right shin towards the top of your mat. So it's okay here to have the heel closer to the groin. So you don't need to, oftentimes in vinyasa you want the shin parallel to the top of the mat, but that's not necessarily where we're going here. So changing your mindset and the shape of your body a little bit in these yin poses, and then go ahead, walk your hands forward and down. So again, dropping the head down as much as you can, as much as you can let go, and it might take a few breaths to get there. So you can start a little bit higher up and just slowly find yourself softly melting down. As you slowly begin to lift up your forehead, walk your hands back in. So you can stay low as you alternate legs, extending the right leg back, bringing the left knee forward. I'm going to take a downward facing dog here to stretch out the legs. So when you come into these more yang poses, down dog is not a yin pose. You want to kind of do this with the least amount of effort. So maybe not how you would normally go into down dog. So we're just going to really gently lift up into down dog. Just take a little pedal here of the feet, really nice and soft. We're not here long, just taking this as an in-between. And then slowly going to bring the left knee forward. So again, not with much effort, just bring the left knee forward. Extend the right leg long. And then slowly opening the heart and slowly melt forward. So arms come forward and down, and take your time to coming to that space where you can really let go, whether your forehead is down, whether you're supported by a block, any which way that you melt into this pose is totally fine. And then very slowly walk your hands back up. And again, really optional downward facing dog. We're not here for long. As we begin to close out our practice together, and just gently come to downward facing dog. And then slowly from downward facing dog, just drop down to your knees. So slowly drop down to your knees, untuck your toes, tops of the feet onto the mat. We're going to take a tight knee child's pose. So the knees are together, the arms extend, the hips sink to the heels, the arms extend alongside the body with the palms facing up, and drop the forehead down. And then slowly bring your arms back forward, gently press yourself up to a comfortable kneeling seat. Bring your hands onto your thighs and close your eyes. So just let your body and your mind absorb your practice. Bring your hands to heart center. Bow your forehead down towards your prayer, your chin towards your chest. Giving yourself a word of appreciation for your practice. And gently lifting the chin off the chest, opening the eyes. Namaste.